Hello everyone, and welcome to the second training for our bulk email software. In this particular video, we'll be going over the contacts button, the different options available, and more importantly, importing your contact list or leads into the system so you can market to them and watch your business grow. So let's get started. When you click on the Contacts drop-down menu button, you'll see a list of different options, like View All Contacts. This is where you can view your contacts. Search Contacts. This is where you can search for a particular contact. Add a contact. This is where you can manually add a single contact. Import contacts from a file. This is the most important right now and what this video will mostly be on. None of the other buttons will even work until you have contacts into the system, except for manually adding a single contact. Export contacts to a file. This is where you can export all the contacts you have in that particular list and save them to a file on your computer. Remove contacts. This is where you can remove a single contact or different contacts from the particular list. But there is an automated way to do this via an unsubscribed link. And you will have this link actually at the bottom of all of your emails. Once in a blue moon, you'll run across someone that really just can't understand how to click on that unsubscribed link. So at which point, if you get an email of someone asking to be removed from your list, you do have to remove them. So having an area where you can remove contacts is good for you. Email suppression list. This is where you can suppress any list. This means essentially if you have a particular email list that you just don't want to receive your emails anymore, but you want to back up the list or you want to save it for a particular reason, this means that even though you send out a broadcast, even if you check to email to that list, they will not receive a single email from you until you remove them from the suppression list. Then you have suppress an email or a domain. So this is where you can suppress a single email address, or if you seem to be having difficulty or lots of problems from a single domain, like for example, for whatever reason, no matter what you do, any email you send to Comcast.net, which Comcast is a pretty big internet provider on the West Coast. So any email you send to Comcast.net for whatever reason automatically gets flagged for spam. It doesn't matter if the contact has whitelisted you and is, opted to receive emails from you and has requested that it not go to spam or, any of these other features. For whatever reason, it still goes to spam. Well, then you're having a problem with Comcast.net, and you can actually suppress that whole domain. That means anybody that uses a Comcast.net email address to sign up to your list, it won't allow them to receive your emails. And what this does is this eliminates the amount of spam complaints you have on your email account, your IP address, your email provider, and our system in itself. And the more you can eliminate spam from your details, the more your emails will be delivered 100% every time. So that's actually a pretty important piece to have. Now that we've gone over the different options in the Contacts drop-down menu, let's go ahead and start setting you up to import your leads. The first thing you're going to want to think about is the amount you import. Here's a tip. While I was testing the system out, I noticed that it took about an hour and 45 minutes to import a 65,000 list size. That means it had 65,000 people on my list. I then noticed by cutting down this list from 65,000 to only 50,000, I was able to import 200,000 into the system in the same amount of time. So even though the list size was smaller, I was actually able to be more efficient and have more leads loaded in to the system in the same amount of time. 200,000 instead of 65,000. So try and keep this in mind as you're ready to import your leads. 50,000 is the magic number. Now let's get to importing your leads. Click on the Contacts drop-down button. Click on Import Contact from a file. Click on one of the lists that you have created. Click on the Next button. Now on this page, most of the work is already done for you, unless you want certain added details or events to occur. Make sure where it says mark as confirmed says confirmed. Make sure your format says HTML. Again, this should already be done. Now, if you wish to overwrite your existing details, you can check the box to do so. Note, this will overwrite any existing contacts. So unless you actually wish to lose the contacts you currently have in that list, then don't select this button. There are certain instances where this is needed. For let's say if you downloaded the list, if you made some corrections or additions or something of that nature, you're uploading it back over. Obviously, you would like to override all the data that's there. Or if you just don't want the list anymore, but you like the list name, so you're going to upload into it. There's certain instances where you actually want this. But make sure that this is what you want. You also have the option to add the list to an autoresponder right away, meaning they will continue to get the emails you've set up in that autoresponder automatically for the duration of the Drip Series email campaign. This is great if you're only promoting one thing and or you already have email campaigns that are proven and works. You can just upload your leads, select them to the autoresponder you've built, and bam, you're done. For example, we have several campaigns for the bulk emailer that we know works. We've already tested them out. We know they get conversions, great conversions and sales. We know they work already. So we don't have to go through the testing series on them already. So we set up the autoresponder with our email campaigns that we already have, and we set it up to email our leads twice a month for, let's say, a year. We then load our leads into the system, add them to that autoresponder, and bam, we now have a year's worth of advertising done in a couple of hours. And as we continue to test more email campaigns, we continue to add the best email campaign we have to our quote-unquote automated advertising campaigns. It's a real easy way, once the work is done and set up, to upload your leads into the system and to constantly email those leads for the duration of your campaign. Now you're going to want to see, you're going to want to check and see if your CSV file, which contains your leads, has a header or not. If it does, then make sure to check the yes, this file contains a headers box. Make sure the field separator says comma, and make sure under the import file, upload file from my computer is selected, and then click on the browse button. This will open up a window from your computer where you can find the file and then select the file for import. You can either double click to select the file, or you can single click on it and then click the open button. Once you've done this, click the next button. On the next screen, you will tell the system which specific data goes with which specific field. You make sure and you match the information in the appropriate field in the drop-down menus. Once you've matched all the data, you can click on the next button. For example, if the lead's first name is in the left-hand column, then on the drop-down menu on the right-hand column, you're going to want to set that to the field that's named first name. The lead's email in the left-hand column, you're going to want to make sure that's selected in the drop-down menu as the email field, etc. Again, once you've finished matching up the data, then you can just click on the next button. You absolutely need on this one is the names and the email. And there you go. That's it. Your leads are now importing into the system. You can repeat the process over and over to import more and more, or you can just continue to email to those. Next, we'll be going over the email campaigns button, how to set up your campaigns and save it for future mailings, and also how to schedule your email campaigns, how to get this engine started, and how to get driving down the road. Here's a little tip while you're importing though and getting ready for the next lesson. Keep your list size to about 100,000. Okay, you'll need that for the next training module when we go over the email campaigns button. So until next time, thank you very much for watching our training module, and we'll see you shortly.